Can you offer any clarity on Jonathan Due at this stage?
So Jonathan practiced today, about half of practice, mostly things that weren't live. He looked like he was moving pretty well, but also looked like there was a little bit of soreness. So I think a couple more treatments and 24 hours, and we'll have a better idea. So I think he's still kind of questionable right now.
In your view, what's the best way for Richmond to get out of this skid, apart from not playing really good teams on the road?
So overall, yeah. Well, I think, John, you have to look at certainly look at the schedule and the teams you're playing, but also the most of our work is done looking at ourselves and what could we do better and how can we have better starts, have better first halves, have better whatever it might be. And I think the biggest thing is, just emphasizing the things that you always try to emphasize, getting a great shot every time, really being a little bit more zeroed in on the scouting report, understanding exactly how we're trying to defend. At this level, obviously you could be guarding somebody well and they can still score. But you have to give yourself the best chance by having the best sense of how they are trying to score against you. And so, eliminating transition, or as best we can eliminating transition, and then when we have the ball, getting the very best shot that we can. And, not that we've been terrible at that, but there's definitely room for improvement. And we believe that will usually help us, right the ship and make us a little bit steadier on offense, at both ends.
Hey, speaking of that schedule, if you were the A-10 commissioner, is there a way you would adjust it?
Do you know something I don't know, John?
I know. You'll play 5 league teams twice before you'll play 3 league teams once as this season.
Yes.
Sort of unusual. And, Rhode Island's kind of a weird home and home. St. Patrick's is kind of a weird home and home for Richmond. Do you have a general view of how the schedule is compiled in this week?
I do. I think probably the most important thing for the front office to do is take the teams they feel are going to have a chance to be at-large teams and give them the best schedule, meaning the most opponents who can help their NET score. Otherwise, I'm not so sure what it should look like. Once the NFL went to 17 games, if a bunch of first graders were going to have a league, they would say, well, it's an even number of games. So once the NFL went to 17 games, I think all scheduling has been crazy, and it's been like that for us for a while. I feel like we played over the years. We play UMass on the last date of the season twice. It was the first time we saw them in March. So I don't know. I think that's probably their biggest function is probably to try to make sure that the teams that they feel, which is harder to predict probably, have a chance for an at-large, that they get 5 opponents who can enhance their NET.
Do you have a plan in mind for next week, mid-season, mid-league season?
Generally, the one thing, and we've always really circled the bye weeks just to say it was a great time to work on ourselves, not worry about a scouting report. So yeah, we'll have a pretty good, from Sunday through Wednesday, it'll be all about ourselves, and that might include small groups and film and the team, some downtime, but it'll just all be about Richmond and some things that we can do to, whether we make some changes or tweaks or add some particular things on offense or defense, but the first 4 days will all be about Richmond.
Lastly for me, on E.J. Lopez, very aggressive offensive player. He's given you what you need in a lot of respects in that area. You can sort of assess how he's filled the gap for you.
Yeah, AJ's been great. I mean, he's really has a unique way of scoring, or a unique ability to score the ball. He's savvy. He has a great change of speed. He can shoot the ball. He's been a great teammate, just very coachable, very open to learning how we play. He's been good. I'd like him. I think he has potential to be a very good defender, and which I don't think he has met every day out. But he certainly has great effort and energy and a commitment to basketball, and has been great for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If the Eagles are able to go tomorrow, I would assume that puts more on Walls. What about the rest of the rotation? I mean, you saw that Tuesday,
Yeah.
as well with the AP a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you back at what you did on Tuesday to kind of
Yeah.
see how things can go for Saturday?
Yeah, for sure. I think, well, Jalen Robinson played, he played 8 minutes and had foul trouble. But I thought he did a really good job. I think AP is someone, Colin is someone who could probably play, that obviously that makes us really small. But they're for us, the ability to know what we're doing and move and make our decisions quickly is really important. So even if we give up a little bit of size, but we would expect Mike to give as many minutes as he possibly can, and I think Jalen and AP should have the rest covered. So for some teams, being small is a huge detriment. For some teams, they're also a little bit smaller. That's not how they take advantage of things. So it can be a little bit game to game, but most importantly, we need Mike to play as many minutes as possible.
Do you tell him to pace himself a little bit more, and especially on defense, because you don't want him to get in there and foul?
Yeah, for sure. I think I wouldn't use that term exactly, but I would probably say just being aware of what we need for the course of the game. But yes, I think that we'll try to help him in any which way, whether that be calling a timeout if he's been on the floor for a long time, whatever that is. But yeah, we just make him aware that we really need him for as much as possible.
Would you like to see him take more shots?
Yes. Yes. Mike is. There can't be many players who everybody is telling him to shoot more. So he's genuinely like a very pass first player in terms of and he really helps us move, and when we're at our best, he's a big reason for that because of his willingness. He doesn't take the 1 second to consider shooting a lot. He's just moving the ball. He should take many more attempts, and we're working on it with him and trying to tell him how we want it to play out and how many shots we want him to take. And I think he's getting the feel for it. But yes, we want him to shoot more for sure.
Alumni weekend. Share your thoughts as these guys come back and portal makes it different a little bit.
Yeah. Well, you can't transfer if you're an alum, John. You have to hold on here for now. Good point. For now, you must.
Richmond seems to do this in a bigger way than many schools.
Yeah, it's really important to me, and especially over the years, more and more guys who have played for us have been back, so that's great and a great time. But the guys who played for Coach Tarrant, Coach Beeline, Coach Dooley, guys who have been around for a long time, I'm sure my guess is they don't love the portal era and how our things are done. And we just need to continue to celebrate those guys, celebrate what it is about this place that makes them feel so proud, and let that sink in on the guys that are here. Retention is something that's very important to us, and we want to make sure that we do everything we can to retain these guys who have given us a lot already, and that we're trying to give to them. And I don't want that to be a pipe dream. We want to make it very real, and having alumni back and former players around hopefully enhances that feeling, because I do think that's one of the considerations that players make, is how they feel while they're at that place. Now, again, I don't want to be naive to think that it doesn't have anything to do with anything else, but that has to be a part of it, and we're hoping, because Richmond has such strength in those areas, that can be a positive part for us.
Following that LaSalle game, you mentioned it was one of the best all-around games from the team. To then follow that up with the current skid, is that just basketball, or has something changed?
Yeah.
Was it surprising that the guys haven't performed?
Well, it's a little bit basketball in the season and who you play and who's on the schedule and what the challenges are with those matchups. But it's also, I think we have to. You have to be as consistent as possible when you're in college basketball, because at this level, it's just everybody's very good. And so the more consistent play we can get from the 10, 11 guys who are playing, the better. And I think we've been a little bit up and down more than we can afford to be. And hopefully we can rectify that as we move forward.
And looking at Davidson, what's going to have to happen to take him?
Yeah, Davidson, this has really been a great rivalry, and we have tremendous respect for their program, how they play, how they go about everything they do. It's going to be really important that we, can have defensive pressure on the ball, that we can disrupt them as much as possible, because, when they're in a nice flow, they're fun to watch and pretty to watch, but hard to defend. So just to be as disruptive as we possibly can without gambling or without taking chances. If we can do that, and then, we have some speed on our team, if that can show up, for us to be able to get some easier baskets at the offensive end would also be a plus.
They've gone viral a couple of times for giving away free beer at their games. Is that something you've thought about?
We haven't gotten there yet, and I had heard about that. I didn't see that, but I had heard about that. So yeah, we'll worry about the post game beer before we worry about the during the game beer.
We were talking to AJ about a sense of urgency amongst the guys. Have you spoken about that as we're getting close to Sunday's February?
Sure.
Down the home stretch, has that been talked about a lot?
Yeah, I think that, yes, but I also think as a coach, we're talking about urgency in May and June. So it's a little bit like, hey, I didn't really mean it then, but now we're, so yes, I think the way you prepare and present the information to the guys and help them, I think that all demonstrates the urgency that the coaches have. So hopefully the guys understand that, and how, we do emphasize to the guys, especially the older guys, how rare this is to be playing college basketball. These are the luckiest athletes in the world, but that it can go by pretty quickly, and to seize every moment.
Hey, AJ, at this point, when a guy is in his final season of college basketball, there's often a sense of urgency, team-wise and personally. I wonder if you could speak to that, and the end of your time is drawing near.
Oh, yeah. With the guys, man, the time of winning is right now, so we definitely got to pick it up with the games coming up in this long stretch. But the guys, we'll keep a positive mindset, and know it's a long season, that we just got to stay together. Things will fall in place.
Given the rocky last segment of your schedule, what has to change apart from just not playing really good teams on the road?
Yeah, just approaching the game with just a little bit more aggression on both sides of the ball, and just staying connected. I feel like that's the biggest part, and this little streak that we've been having, is just staying connected with the guys.
Your shot is unusual. You've talked about it before. I wonder how many times coaches from middle school to now have tried to adjust it.
Quite a few, but I just never had the time to really sit there and change my whole shot. So I just been rocking with it since I was young, but it's been working for me so far. So,
is it a negative in any way in terms of launching lower than other guys?
I don't think so. I mean, I think right now I'm shooting like 40% from three, so I don't think it's really that much of a negative.
Was your game formed on a playground? I mean that in a good way. 'Cause you're a bucket getter, not just a shooter, not just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can win a lot of one-on-one games, probably.
Nah, yeah, for sure, man. I've been playing one-on-one since I was about 10 years old, man. Just either with my dad, my friends, or just family, man. That's just like a culture in New York, so it's just something I've been around since I was a kid.
What are you able to take away from Tuesday's game that you can use Saturday against Davidson?
Just coming out with some grit, staying together, like I said before, and then knowing that we could play with anybody that steps in between the lines with us. That's really the main thing for us right now.
How much of the focus is taking that second half and doing it for 40 minutes?
No, yeah, for sure. That's a huge focus, man. I feel like once we start putting together two good halves of basketball, it's gonna be tough to beat us, for sure.
What has been the problem in that area, not being able to put together two good halves?
I feel like just to start sometimes, like on the last couple games, teams have got off to a good start from the three-point line. So I feel like that's on me, of course, being an older guy, and then just coming out and approaching the game with a little bit more urgency, for sure.
You're not going to know. Tomorrow's an alumni game.
Oh, okay.
You may not, right. You may not even know that, let alone a lot of the alumni.
Yeah.
But now knowing that, is there, an ideal that, hey, let's make sure that we uphold what Richmond basketball?
Nah, for sure, man, for sure. We definitely want to win it for the alumni, but we definitely want to win it for us, and just getting out this losing streak that we're on right now. But just as a whole, just win the game, period, for sure.
How's the morale been, on this tough stretch you guys have been? Has feel like the locker room still, has the right motivation, has their heads in the right place. You just can't get no income.
Oh yeah, for sure. We all pushing in the right direction, just showing up every day, working hard. I feel like we're keeping the main thing, and then there's been a lot of positive talk between the guys. I feel like we get out of this losing streak quicker than we might think.
Have you done more maybe to kind of keep the guys not from being too far down?
Yeah.
In this stretch?
No, for sure, man. We have talks every day in the locker room about just keeping even mind. And it's a long season, a lot of ups and downs. So I feel like, as being an older guy, I try to do my best to let the younger guys know that it's a long season, that we got a lot of games to play.